Welcome to the Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Dubston. Great to have you with us as we look ahead to the last week of April, commencing Monday, the 27th of April, 2020, to see what the I Ching is asking us to pay attention to, where our focus should be this week. And of course, last week we were asked to sit on the eggs, sit in the nest, look after the seeds, be Mother Earth, nurturing all the growth around us. And I'm sure you had a very busy week as you built up and supported the activity, the operational activity happening around you. And as we rounded out the end of the week, building up the energy of preparedness and enthusiasm for the next phase. This week, interesting hexagrams we have, and in particular, our first one. So our hexagram as we start off the week, our state of change, our focus, our flow of change for this week, is a hexagram 47, Exhaustion. So if you look at the hexagram, we have lake on the top, we have water underneath, so water has dipped below the level of the lake. And we can imagine or visualize this metaphor as the water table having dropped below the access points, below the borehole, below the level of the lake where it seeps up and we can access the water, the nourishment, the things that we need. And this is what we're being asked to pay attention to. This hexagram, exhaustion or oppression, talks about oppressive, exhaustive circumstances. And the thing about this hexagram is that there is nothing that we can do to change the exhaustion. And I'm going to unpack what this exhaustion might mean for you. Nothing to be done. This is not a fix it. This is a process of accepting the exhaustion that we are in. What we can do is we are in charge and in control of how we deal with the exhaustion, our response to it, and how we take responsibility for our part in it. So, exhaustion can refer to money drying up. It can refer to time drying up. It can refer to your physical energy just being flattened by the events of the past few weeks. You literally might feel this coming week that you cannot get out of bed. You might feel that your bank account is empty. You might feel that no one is listening to you. You're oppressed, no one's hearing you, and you're feeling isolated. So for you, you might find this week a particular facet of exhaustion. Whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's comfort, whether it is energy, whether it's physical ability, work with exhaustion this week. Being oppressed by circumstances. Now, it doesn't take a long stretch of the imagination to reflect on the world we are currently in and the fact that many of us, and potentially you, are locked down, as I am, in your home, and in my country, it's a very restrictive lockdown. So we are all, to some or greater extent, oppressed. And the house arrest, if you want to call it that. And we are in our homes and we are unable to go out and express ourselves, live our lives, more importantly, go and work and earn. So the changing line for this week is particularly relevant for us. And it's changing in the 5th position. And this changing line says that our nose and our toes are cut off. Okay, and this symbolizes that we are pressed by authority, an authority figure. So, in general, if we look at our world and we take this I Ching flow of change for this week and we apply it to our global context we're in, what this changing line is confirming is that we are being oppressed by authority. Now, I'm not putting any judgment on that oppression, that it's right or wrong or in between. We all have to use our own critical faculties. But we are being oppressed. And our task is to accept the state of change. The lake is dry. We are oppressed. Our nose and our toes have been cut off. Our ability to go and fulfill our life goals right now is exhausted. And what we have to do is we have to turn that energy inwards, and we have to accept that it's not a time to blame the authority or the external circumstances. Just take it in and let go of the emotion of blaming. because this changing line tells us this is starting to ease. Okay, so the operation and the exhaustion is going to start to unravel. It's going to take a little bit of time, but the unraveling process this week is starting to happen. And we must take responsibility for transforming this inner view, because the I Ching is saying this process of nose and toes cut off is unraveling, is starting to ease. Okay, but what we mustn't do is get into a blame situation internally, because that creates a negative energy that holds us locked in an oppression. In fact, we become our own oppressors. So this week, exhaustion. Be present with the exhaustion and recognize that it just is what it is. No amount of willpower can change in this week this journey of exhaustion we're going through. What we have to do instead is accept it, embrace it, and self-care. If you are physically exhausted and you've been running hell for leather for the last few weeks in the mad flurry panic like we all have, just have to look at LinkedIn to see all the stuff going on to know everybody's in the panic. If you're feeling you're crashing and you're hitting a wall this week, just accept it. You've been going too fast. If the bank account is empty, no amount of wishing is going to help. What you can do is you can reach out to friends, you can reach out to your community and navigate through this exhaustion that way. It's temporary. This is not the whole month's outlook. This is just this week. So the exhaustion has culminated. The changing line is telling that it's starting to unravel. Just our state of mind is really important. And very excitingly, the outcome hexagram, or the relating figure for this week, is the hexagram 40, Deliverance. And yes, if you hear that little tune, ding, 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 playing, cool. Deliverance is all about coming to a place of safety after a dark night at sea. Visualize you've been out at sea, tossed in a ship in a huge storm. It's been really, really challenging. And the ship has wrecked and you come to and you've washed up on the beach. You're kind of lying prostrate and the sunrise and you're trying to figure out where on earth you are. And you realize, oh my word, that nightmare that I've just been through, I'm actually on the beach. And although I'm a bit disheveled and I'm bruised and I look worse for wear, I'm alive and I've arrived where people can help. So a very interesting combination of energy this week, where we both are facing this exhaustion, but the deliverance is there. The opportunity to start unraveling this process, to start recuperating, starts to open up. And isn't that a wonderful thing? So that's our week. Take care. Just be present with what is exhausted in your life right now and just embrace it. Bring acceptance to the party. Bring asking for help to the party. That's what it's all about. If you have not yet done so, there are only a couple of days left for the April I Ching question giveaway. Go along down to the link under this video or podcast episode. There's one link, click on that and it'll take you to a whole lot of options, and on there is the April giveaway. Click it, fill out your details and your question you'd like to enter into the giveaway, and let's see, maybe it's your lucky month. And then we have the video for the winning question come up in roundabout middle of May. Thank you so much for being with me. I am with you and I'm thinking of you this week as we all go through exhaustion, as we all face the limits of our pocket, of our energy, of our physical ability to do what needs to get done. But we also recognize that those limits need care, they need acceptance, and they need friends. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. See you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for our daily stories. And of course, if this is meaningful to you, please share it with someone you know who's going through a tough time. See you soon.